You don't fit in with my friends, she said, stirring her drink like she was mixing my heart into it. For a second, I thought I'd misheard. What? She didn't look up. You heard me. You just don't. I sat there, my fork halfway to my mouth, pasta cooling in front of me. Maya, what does that even mean? She sighed, finally meeting my eyes. It means exactly what I said. Every time we go out, you're quiet. You don't laugh at their jokes. You always look uncomfortable. Because they talk about people they don't even know, I said. You realize your friends spend half the night gossiping or trying to sound rich? She rolled her eyes. See? That right there. That attitude. You judge everyone. I leaned back, my chest tightening. I'm not judging. I just don't belong in that kind of fake circle. You used to say you liked that about me, that I was real. That was before, she said softly. Before what? Before I realized how different we are. The words hit harder than I expected. Different how? She hesitated, then shrugged. You like simple things. Home-cooked meals, quiet nights. I like going out, meeting people, doing things. I want energy around me. And I'm what? Boring? Her silence was the answer. I felt the heat rise to my face. So this is what this dinner was about? You dragged me here to tell me I'm not exciting enough for you? Don't make it sound cruel, she said, her voice trembling slightly. I just don't feel the spark anymore. The spark? I laughed under my breath. You mean the spark we had for 2 years? The spark that made you cry when I almost moved for work? That was a different time, she whispered. I stared at her, trying to read something, regret, pain, anything. But she just looked tired. Detached. Like she'd already had this conversation 100 times in her head. So what changed? I asked. She hesitated again, twirling the straw between her fingers. Nothing specific. It's just. I've been thinking about where I am in life. Who I'm with. And I realized maybe we're not going in the same direction. I clenched my fists under the table. Is there someone else? Her eyes darted away. No. Don't start that. Then why does it sound rehearsed? Like you've been preparing this speech for weeks? Because I have, she said, almost snapping. I didn't want to hurt you, Ethan. But pretending isn't fair to either of us. Pretending? My voice cracked. You think I didn't notice you've been distant? The late replies, the cancelled plans, the work dinners that run till midnight? She shook her head. It's not like that. Then what is it like, Maya? I leaned forward. Because from where I'm sitting, it feels like I've been loving a stranger. She looked down, then whispered, You've been trying to love someone who's already moved on. The air left my lungs. Moved on? She flinched. I didn't mean. Yes, you did. I laughed, bitter and hollow. You mean you've already replaced me? Her eyes glistened, but no tears fell. Please don't make this ugly. I'm trying to be honest. Honest would have been telling me before you started detaching, I said. Not dropping it like a bomb over dinner. Ethan, stop. Her voice cracked. I don't want to fight. Of course you don't, I muttered. Because that would require caring. She pushed her plate away and stood. You're twisting everything I say. I looked up at her, numb. You're leaving, aren't you? She nodded, softly. I think it's for the best. I stared at her chair, empty now, and the half-finished drink she left behind. My reflection rippled in the glass, distorted and pathetic. Maya, I said quietly, was I ever enough for you? She paused, hand on her purse strap. You were. Just not for who I am now. That sentence burned. Not screamed, not cried, just burned, quietly and endlessly. I didn't move when she walked out. The door chimed, cold air rushed in, and her perfume faded with it. For a long time, I just sat there, the sounds of the restaurant closing in. Dishes clinking, laughter from nearby tables, the faint hum of life moving on, without me. The waiter came by. Will she be coming back? I forced a smile that didn't belong on my face. No, I said. Not anymore. When he left, I looked at her empty chair again. I could still see her there, smiling like nothing was wrong. But now I knew, it wasn't that I didn't fit in with her friends. It was that I no longer fit in her world. The silence in my car was heavier than the night outside. I didn't even turn on the radio. The city lights blurred past my windshield, but all I could hear was her voice repeating in my head, "You don't fit in with my friends." I gripped the steering wheel tighter. What the hell does that even mean, Maya? I whispered to the empty seat beside me. The seatbelt buckle glinted under the streetlight, the same one she used to complain was too tight. I laughed bitterly. Guess you won't have to deal with that anymore. A notification buzzed on my phone in the cup holder. I hoped, stupidly, it was her. It wasn't. Just a work email. My reflection in the rearview mirror looked like a stranger. Eyes red, jaw clenched, trying too hard not to feel. I muttered to myself, "You're fine, Ethan. You're fine." But I wasn't. Her words kept echoing, not just the ones from tonight, but the ones that built our whole story. You make me feel safe. You're my calm in the chaos. Funny how safety turns into boredom when someone starts craving attention. At a red light, I grabbed my phone again. The last message from her stared back at me, "Can't wait to see you tonight, Redheart." Sent just 5 hours ago. Guess that didn't age well, I said to myself. I typed. "Me, you okay?" I stared at it. Then deleted it. Typed again. "Me, I don't understand." I hit send. Watched the screen. The 3 dots never appeared. The light turned green, and I drove on autopilot. Every street corner reminded me of something: the cafe where she first said she loved me, the bookstore where we argued about who'd buy the last copy of that novel, the park bench where she cried about her mother and I promised I'd never walk away. Promises age fast when hearts change. By the time I reached my apartment, the text still hadn't been read. I tossed the phone on the couch and stood in the dark. No lights, no noise. Just me and the sound of my own breathing. I sank onto the floor, staring at the faint glow from the city outside my window. My thoughts wouldn't stop. What did I miss? When did she stop choosing me? Was it my fault for being too still while she wanted chaos? The phone buzzed again, not her. "Ryan. Ryan, you back home?" I typed slowly. "Me, yeah. It's over." He replied instantly. "Ryan, what happened?" "Me, she said I don't fit in with her friends." "Ryan, that's bullsh*t. She's seeing someone, isn't she?" I stared at the screen, not ready to face that idea. "Me, don't know. She swore she wasn't." "Ryan, then why the hell does this feel rehearsed?" I didn't answer. Because he was right. It did sound rehearsed. Every word, every pause, like she'd practiced in front of a mirror. I set the phone down and rubbed my face. "You've really become that guy," I said to myself, "the one who gets dumped over dinner." My chest felt hollow, like she'd taken something and left the rest of me on that restaurant table. Hours passed without meaning. I opened the fridge, closed it again. Watered a dying plant. Stared at the door like she might knock any second and say she made a mistake. But she didn't. Around midnight, I opened Instagram. Her story was gone, but her tagged photos weren't. One of her friends had posted a group picture, taken at the same restaurant 3 nights ago. Maya sat beside a guy I'd never seen before, his hand half hidden behind her chair. She was laughing, that same tilted head laugh she used when she really liked someone. I zoomed in even though I didn't need to. "Who the hell is that?" I whispered. I clicked his profile. Private. But his display picture was enough, same man from the photo, same smile. Something in me broke quietly. Not loud, not angry, just a slow, sinking ache. I typed another message. "Me, did you ever love me, or was I just a phase you outgrew?" I didn't send it. I deleted it, like the last one. Instead, I locked my phone, leaned back, and let the darkness fill the room. The silence pressed harder. Somewhere outside, a car honked, laughter echoed from a passing group, life continued. I whispered to no one, you said I didn't fit in, Maya. Maybe I just didn't fit into your lies. The city lights blurred again behind the tears I didn't want to admit were there. I closed my eyes, pretending I could forget the sound of her voice. But it followed me into the dark, soft, final, and cruelly calm. You don't fit in. I sat on the couch, phone in hand, staring at the last text I sent her, still unread. The room felt colder than usual. Maybe it wasn't the room. Maybe it was just me, finally realizing how blind I'd been. I whispered to myself, you saw it all, Ethan. You just didn't want to believe it. Ryan called. You sleeping? Not really. He sighed. Did you check her page again? I hesitated. Yeah. I saw her with that guy. Then stop pretending she's confused. She made her choice. I just keep thinking about all the little things I ignored, I said quietly. Like what? I leaned back, closing my eyes. Remember last month when she canceled our anniversary dinner? Said her boss needed her for a meeting? Yeah. I found out later her company doesn't even schedule meetings past 6. But I didn't ask. I told myself she was tired. Ryan's voice softened. You wanted to trust her. I did. She made it easy to believe her. She'd kiss me and say, you're the only person who understands me. I guess I thought that meant something. I could still hear her laugh from that night, the fake kind, the one she used when she was already somewhere else in her mind. Another memory hit me. We were in her apartment, sitting on the couch. She got a text, smiled, then turned her phone face down. I asked, who's that? She smirked. No one. You wouldn't understand. What's that supposed to mean? I'd asked. Nothing. It's just, people like us, we talk differently. You take everything too seriously. I remember laughing it off. Yeah, because having boundaries is such a flaw. She rolled her eyes. There you go again, analyzing everything. Back then, I thought she was just stressed. Now I realized she was bored, with me, with honesty, with anything that didn't feed her ego. Ryan interrupted my thoughts. You're quiet. What are you thinking? I rubbed my temples. She used to smile at me while texting someone else. I'd see her screen light up during dinner, and she'd just tilt it away like it was instinct. You never checked her phone? No. I didn't want to be that guy. Being that guy might have saved you this mess. Maybe, I said. But I thought love meant trust. I didn't know it also required awareness. He was silent for a moment, then said, you're not stupid, Ethan. You just loved someone who stopped loving you. That sentence stuck to my ribs like glass. I laughed softly. You remember that beach trip we planned? She canceled a day before, said she was sick. Posted a story 2 days later, out with friends at some rooftop bar. Damn, Ryan muttered. You let that slide? Yeah. I told myself maybe she just needed space. Ryan's voice grew sharp. You gave her space. She used it to entertain someone else. I sighed. You know the worst part? She made me feel guilty for asking questions. I'd say, you've been distant lately, and she'd reply, God, you're so sensitive. Not everything's about you. He chuckled bitterly. Classic gaslighting. I thought she was right, I admitted. I started apologizing for caring. I'd send her good morning texts, and she'd reply at noon, sorry, busy. But when I didn't text, she'd say, you've changed. Ryan laughed under his breath. She wanted control. I nodded. Yeah. And I gave it to her. Every time she pulled away, I chased harder. I thought I was fixing things. But I was just feeding her ego. The room went quiet again. I could almost hear her voice in my head, you're too intense, Ethan. Just let things flow. Flow. That was her favorite excuse for indifference. I stood up and walked to the window. The city looked so alive, and I felt so dead inside. Ryan said, you're gonna keep replaying it, man. That's what heartbreak does. But you'll run out of pain eventually. I smiled weakly. I'm not sure I want to. It's the only thing left that still feels connected to her. Trust me, he said, you'll get tired of hurting. I didn't answer. My mind went back again, to one of our last arguments. She'd said, you're always trying to fix things that aren't broken. And I'd replied, then why does it feel like we're falling apart? She'd stared at me, emotionless. Because you overthink everything. That was her way of shutting me up, making me feel like logic was my enemy. Now, standing here, I realized she didn't want to be understood. She wanted to be adored, no questions asked. Ryan's voice broke through the silence again. You okay? Yeah, I said softly. Just thinking. About her? About how many signs I ignored. About how love blinds you, not because you can't see, but because you refuse to look. He sighed. So what now? I looked at my reflection in the glass, tired, smaller somehow, but awake. Now? I said. Now I stopped pretending she was who I thought she was. Ryan was quiet for a second. Good. That's the first real thing you've said all night. I smiled faintly. Yeah. Took me long enough to mean it. My phone buzzed just as I was pouring coffee. It was a message from Lily. Ethan, you need to see this. I frowned. What is it? I typed back. A moment later, an image appeared, Maya at an outdoor cafe, laughing, her hand locked with someone else's. My stomach flipped. The guy's face looked familiar. I zoomed in. Jake. One of the same people she'd said I didn't fit in with. I just stared. For a full minute, I couldn't breathe. My hands shook. No, it can't be. Lily's next message came fast. I'm sorry, Ethan. They've been coming here a few times. I didn't know how to tell you. I called her instantly. Lily, when was this picture taken? Yesterday, she said quietly. They looked comfortable. Like it wasn't the first time. I sank into the chair. Thanks for telling me, I muttered. My voice cracked halfway through. You okay? I don't know, I said. I don't think so. After hanging up, I just sat there, staring at the picture again. Her smile, that same easy smile she used to give me. It felt stolen. I tried to rationalize, tell myself maybe it was nothing. But deep down, I knew. She hadn't just moved on, she'd already been gone. I opened her chat. My thumb hovered over the keyboard. Me, Maya, can we talk? No reply. Me, it's important. Still nothing. 10 minutes later, I called. She picked up on the third ring. Ethan? What's wrong? Her tone was calm, too calm. I just got a picture from Lily, I said slowly. You and Jake. At the cafe. Silence. Then a nervous laugh. Oh, that. It's not what it looks like. Really? Because it looks like you're holding hands with the guy you said I didn't fit in with. Ethan, please don't make this a big deal. I almost dropped the phone. Don't make this a big deal. Maya, you're dating him. I'm not dating him. We've been spending time together. Spending time? I repeated, my voice rising. You broke up with me last week, and now you're holding hands with another guy. How long was this going on? She sighed, long and slow. I didn't plan this, okay? It just happened. I laughed bitterly. It just happened. That's what people say when they've been lying to themselves for weeks. Ethan, you're overreacting. Overreacting? I nearly shouted. You told me I didn't fit in with your friends. You made me feel small, out of place, like something was wrong with me. And now you're with him? Jake understands me, she snapped suddenly. He gets my world. You never did. Her words hit like glass shattering inside my chest. So that's it, huh? All those nights, all those promises, the future plans, they just disappear because Jake gets your world? Don't twist this, she said sharply. I cared about you, but we were different. You wanted something serious. I wanted to breathe. I pressed my hand against my forehead. You wanted to breathe? I gave you space. I trusted you. You smothered me, Ethan, she said coldly. You tried too hard to make everything perfect. I went quiet. Her tone had no warmth. No guilt. Just detachment. I was fighting for us, I whispered. You were fighting to leave. She exhaled. Maybe that's true. Maybe I was done before I even said it. So all that talk about needing time, needing space, that was just a cover for him, wasn't it? Don't make it sound ugly, she said. I didn't cheat. I laughed again, hollow. You didn't cheat, you just emotionally moved on to another guy while pretending I still mattered. Got it. Ethan, you're being cruel. I'm being honest, I said. Something you should have tried. The silence stretched. I could hear her breathing on the other end, steady, unbothered. Then she said softly, you'll move on. You always do. My throat tightened. You don't get it. You were my person, Maya. You were the only thing that made sense when nothing else did. Then you should thank me for freeing you, she said. That broke me. I couldn't even respond. After a long pause, I whispered, was any of it real? She hesitated, just a second, then said, it was real until it wasn't. And then she hung up. I stood there, phone still pressed to my ear, listening to the empty line. I don't know how long I stood like that. Ryan called later that night. You sound like death, he said. She's with Jake, I managed. Jake? That guy she said you didn't fit in with? Yeah. He swore under his breath. Man, that's cold. I called her. She admitted it. Did she at least say sorry? I let out a shaky laugh. No. She said she freed me. Ryan was silent for a while. You didn't deserve that. I know, I said quietly. But I still wish she'd lied better. It would have hurt less. He sighed. You need to cut her off. Block her. Delete everything. I can't, I said. Not yet. It still feels like she might call. She won't, he said gently. She already left long before she walked away. His words hit harder than I expected. Because deep down, I knew he was right. After the call, I scrolled through old photos, us at the lake, at the movies, her asleep on my shoulder. Every smile looked different now, like clues I'd ignored. I stared at the last picture of us together, taken just a month ago. She was already leaning away from me, just slightly. I hadn't seen it then. Now I couldn't unsee it. Sleep stopped visiting me after that call. I'd lie in bed, staring at the ceiling, watching the red digits on the clock crawl from 1 hour to the next. The silence wasn't peaceful, it was loud, screaming with her voice, her laugh, her words. You'll move on. You always do. That line kept looping in my head until it felt like a curse. I tried distracting myself. Music, movies, scrolling through feeds, everything ended up leading back to her. I deleted our photos once, then fished them out of the trash folder an hour later. What the hell is wrong with me? I muttered to the empty room. The phone lit up again, nothing. No texts, no calls. Just my reflection staring back. 3 days blurred together. I barely ate. I barely moved. Then, on the 4th day, my doorbell rang. When I opened it, Ryan stood there holding 2 coffees. You look like a zombie, he said, pushing past me. Thanks, I mumbled. He tossed one of the cups at me. Drink. It's not optional. I sat on the couch, staring at the untouched cup. I'm fine. You're not, he said, sitting across from me. Your apartment smells like despair and instant noodles. I managed a weak laugh. That's accurate. He leaned forward. How long's it been since you slept? I don't know. 2 days. 3? Damn. He studied me. You've been replaying everything, haven't you? I didn't answer. I didn't need to. She's not thinking about you, he he said softly. She's moved on. You need to start doing the same. I know, I said. But it feels like if I stop thinking about her, she disappears completely. And I'm not ready for that. Ryan sighed. You're keeping her ghost alive, man. Maybe I need to, I whispered. Maybe it's all I have left of her. He shook his head. That's not love, Ethan. That's torture. I looked at him. You didn't see her face when she said it was over. She looked, relieved. Like I'd been a burden. You weren't, he said firmly. She was done before she said the words. You just didn't want to see it. I should have seen it, I said quietly. The signs were all there. The distance, the excuses. I ignored every single one. Because you loved her, he said. That's not weakness. That's just being human. I stared into the coffee cup, the steam fading away. I don't even know who I was in that relationship anymore. I kept changing just to keep her happy. That's what she wanted, Ryan said. Control. Some people pick chaos because peace feels boring. You offered peace. Chaos over peace, I repeated, half to myself. That's what she chose. He nodded. And you're still trying to make sense of it. Stop trying. Some people break things just to see if anyone will fix them. I exhaled, the air leaving me like a confession. I miss her, man. Even after everything, I miss her. Of course you do, he said. You built a whole life around her. But now you've got to start rebuilding one without her. I don't know how. You start small, he said. Eat something. Go outside. Breathe air that doesn't smell like heartbreak. That made me laugh, a real one this time. You should trademark that. Air that doesn't smell like heartbreak. He smiled faintly. See? You can still laugh. That's progress. I shook my head. You're really not going to let me drown in peace, are you? Not a chance, he said. I promised your mom once I'd keep you alive. I raised an eyebrow. You talked to my mom? He grinned. She called me yesterday. Said you weren't answering her texts. You're lucky she didn't show up here with soup and a lecture. That mental image almost made me smile. She still thinks soup can cure depression. Maybe she's right, he said. But I prefer caffeine and sarcasm. For the first time in days, the room didn't feel so heavy. Ryan leaned back. Listen, you're not broken, Ethan. You just got hit by someone who didn't know what to do with loyalty. That doesn't make you less. His words sat with me, echoing softly. Not broken, I repeated. Just, hurt. Exactly, he said. And hurt heals. You just have to give it time. He stood up, stretched, and clapped me on the shoulder. Tomorrow, I'm picking you up. We're getting out of here. No arguments. Where? Anywhere that isn't this apartment. I nodded slowly. Yeah. Maybe that's what I need. When he left, I sat there for a long time, staring at the door. The silence wasn't as sharp anymore. I took a deep breath, opened the photo app, and deleted the last picture of us. This time, I didn't go back for it. Maybe it was small. But it felt like something. It started small. One morning, I just got out of bed without checking my phone. No texts, no notifications, no ghosts. Just silence. And for once, it didn't hurt. Get up, I told myself in the mirror. My reflection looked tired but alive. You're not dying. You're just restarting. That became my mantra. Ryan called later that day. So, are you still breathing, or should I send an ambulance? Still breathing, I said. Barely. Progress, he said. What's the plan today? Gym, I replied. Thinking of joining again. He whistled. Look at you, trying to turn heartbreak into abs. I respect it. I laughed. It's cheaper than therapy. Barely, he said. But I'm proud of you, man. Just, don't overdo it. You're healing, not punishing yourself. I know, I said. I just need to feel something other than useless. That night, I went to the gym. My lungs burned. My arms shook. Every drop of sweat felt like a piece of her leaving me. When the music drowned everything else, I caught myself whispering, "You did this, Maya. You broke me. But I'll rebuild better." And for the first time, it didn't sound like anger. It sounded like promise. Days passed. I started eating again. Working. Sleeping. The nights weren't endless anymore. Ryan noticed. "You're getting your spark back," he said one morning over coffee. "Maybe," I said. "Or maybe I'm just too tired to keep being sad." "Either way," he said, "you're moving forward. That's what matters." At work, I began staying late, not because I was lost, but because I wanted to excel. My boss noticed. "Whatever you're doing, keep it up," he said. "You've been sharp lately." "Just focusing on myself," I replied. And I meant it. I picked up old hobbies too, sketching, running, late-night cooking experiments. My apartment no longer felt haunted. It felt mine again. One night, I stood on my balcony watching the city lights and whispered, "This piece, this is mine. Not borrowed, not shared, not dependent." Ryan texted then, "Still alive?" I replied, "Better than alive." He called immediately. "That's a first. What happened?" "I don't know," I said. "It's like I finally understand why it all fell apart. She didn't ruin me. She revealed me." "That's deep," he said. "You writing poetry now?" "Maybe," I laughed. "Maybe heartbreak's just a weird kind of teacher." He paused. "Think she's seen you lately?" I shrugged. "Doesn't matter. I'm not doing this for her. But I'd be lying if I said I didn't wonder." Later that week, I posted a photo from a morning run. Nothing fancy, just me, sweaty and smiling. Comments flooded in. Friends, co-workers, even Maya's circle. Ryan messaged me a screenshot. "Bro, you're trending in her orbit." "What?" "Her friends are commenting on your post. You know she's gonna see it." I stared at the screen. For the first time, I didn't care if she did. That night, as I brushed my teeth, my phone buzzed. A message. Her name. "Maya, you look good. I'm happy for you." My heart skipped, then steadied. I read it twice, maybe 3 times. There was no apology, no explanation, just a reminder that she still existed somewhere out there, watching. Ryan's voice echoed in my head, "She's not thinking about you, she's thinking about what she lost." I locked the phone, set it face down, and whispered, "I'm not replying." The silence that followed didn't hurt this time. It felt like peace. I sat on the edge of the bed, exhaling slowly. "You're doing it," I told myself. "You're finally doing it." I thought about who I was a month ago, desperate, sleepless, waiting for validation from someone who had already walked away. Now, I didn't need it. She didn't define me. Her betrayal didn't destroy me. It redirected me. I opened my journal and wrote, "Pain is temporary. Purpose lasts longer." Ryan called again just as I finished writing. "You see her message?" "Yeah." "You reply?" "No." He was quiet for a second, then said, "Good. That's growth, my guy." "Feels weird," I admitted. "Like closing a door I used to stare at." "Then lock it," he said. "And throw away the key." I smiled. "Already did." When the call ended, I looked around my apartment, the same walls, same furniture, but everything felt new. Lighter. I lay back, staring at the ceiling again, but this time there was no ache. Just calm. And somewhere in that stillness, I realized, I wasn't waiting for closure anymore. I'd already created it. I was wiping sweat from my face when I saw her, Maya, standing just outside the glass doors of the gym. For a second, I thought my mind was playing tricks on me. But she didn't fade. She was really there, same eyes, same familiar stance, but something in her was dimmed. I walked out slowly, heartbeat steady, not racing like it used to. "Hey," she said, voice soft, shaky. Hey, I replied. You lost or something? She gave a weak laugh. No. I've been meaning to talk to you. I crossed my arms. About what? About us, she whispered. About everything. I looked away. There's no us anymore. I know, she said quickly. I didn't know where else to go. That's not my problem, Maya. Her lips trembled. You don't have to be cruel. I'm not, I said. Just honest. She took a breath, eyes darting toward the parking lot. I messed up, Ethan. I really messed up. I said nothing. The silence stretched until she filled it. I thought I wanted excitement, she said. Something different. But it wasn't real. He wasn't you. Jake? I asked flatly. She flinched. Yeah. Him. How's that going? It ended. A while ago. I nodded slowly. Didn't take long. She frowned. You don't have to sound so what? Calm? Because I am. Took me a long time to get here. She stared at me, like she couldn't recognize the person standing in front of her. You look different, she murmured. Stronger. Yeah, I said. Pain does that. I saw your pictures online, she continued. You seem happy. I am. Her eyes softened. I'm glad. I raised an eyebrow. Are you? She hesitated. I thought I would be, too. But I'm not. I almost laughed. So what, you came here to tell me you're miserable? No, I came because I realized what I lost. I sighed. You didn't lose me, Maya. You threw me away. She looked down. I didn't mean to hurt you. Yeah, I said quietly. You just didn't mean to care enough not to. For a moment, neither of us spoke. The sound of gym doors opening and closing filled the gap. A car horn blared in the distance. She finally whispered, I missed the peace we had. That peace came from me, I said. And you didn't want it. Tears welled up in her eyes. Can't we start over? Just, try again. I stared at her, really stared. The old me would have broken right there. I would have believed her tears, reached out, tried to fix her pain. But not now. Start over? I repeated. You mean, pretend you didn't lie? Pretend you didn't choose someone else? I made a mistake, she said quickly. People change. They do, I agreed. I did. She looked up hopefully. Then maybe we can. No, I cut her off. That's not what I meant. Her face fell. Ethan, please. I'm not asking for everything back. I miss talking to you. Then talk, I said. Say whatever you need to say. She stepped closer. I still think about us. The late night walks, your stupid jokes, the way you used to listen when I rambled. No one ever did that. I smiled faintly. You should have noticed that before you left. I know, she said, voice breaking. I thought I'd find better. But it was all noise. You were the calm. Her words hung there, fragile and heavy. I could almost see the sincerity in her face, the regret burning behind her eyes. But I'd carried those ashes long enough. Maya, I said softly. Do you know what hurt the most? She shook her head. That you didn't even fight for me. Not once. You were gone before I knew you were leaving. She covered her face, crying quietly. I'm sorry, she whispered. I swear, I didn't understand what I was doing. I looked past her, toward the sunset over the parking lot. You don't need to explain anymore. I stopped trying to understand. She dropped her hands. So that's it? You're just done? I was done the day you laughed and said I wasn't your type, I said. That laugh never left my head. Her eyes widened. I didn't mean it like that. Doesn't matter how you meant it. It killed something in me. She took another step closer. I still care about you. Maybe, I said. But caring isn't love. It's guilt. That's not true, she snapped. Then prove it, I challenged. Her mouth opened, but no words came out. After a long silence, she said quietly, "You've really changed." "Yeah," I said. "I had to." "Do you hate me?" I shook my head. "No. I just stopped needing you." The wind picked up. A gym member passed us, holding the door open. I didn't move. Neither did she. "Can we at least be friends?" she asked finally. I smiled, small, calm, final. "Friends don't break each other like that." Her voice cracked. "So you're not even going to say goodbye?" "I said goodbye months ago," I replied. "You just weren't there to hear it." She stood there, frozen, tears glistening in the fading light. I turned back toward the gym. "Ethan," she called. I paused but didn't turn. "You look good," she said softly. "I'm happy for you." He called immediately. "That's a first." "What happened?" "I don't know," I said. "It's like I finally understand why it all fell apart. She didn't ruin me. She revealed me." "That's deep," he said. "You writing poetry now?" "Maybe," I laughed. "Maybe heartbreak's just a weird kind of teacher." He paused. "Think she's seen you lately?" I shrugged. "Doesn't matter. I'm not doing this for her. But I'd be lying if I said I didn't wonder." Later that week, I posted a photo from a morning run. Nothing fancy, just me, sweaty and smiling. Comments flooded in. Friends, co-workers, even Maya's circle. Ryan messaged me a screenshot. "Bro, you're trending in her orbit." "What?" "Her friends are commenting on your post. You know she's gonna see it." I stared at the screen. For the first time, I didn't care if she did. That night, as I brushed my teeth, my phone buzzed. A message. Her name. "Maya, you look good. I'm happy for you." My heart skipped, then steadied. I read it twice, maybe 3 times. There was no apology, no explanation, just a reminder that she still existed somewhere out there, watching. Ryan's voice echoed in my head, "She's not thinking about you, she's thinking about what she lost." I locked the phone, set it face down, and whispered, "I'm not replying." The silence that followed didn't hurt this time. It felt like peace. I sat on the edge of the bed, exhaling slowly. "You're doing it," I told myself. "You're finally doing it." I thought about who I was a month ago, desperate, sleepless, waiting for validation from someone who had already walked away. Now, I didn't need it. She didn't define me. Her betrayal didn't destroy me. It redirected me. I opened my journal and wrote, "Pain is temporary. Purpose lasts longer." Ryan called again just as I finished writing. "You see her message?" "Yeah." "You reply?" "No." He was quiet for a second, then said, "Good. That's growth, my guy." "Feels weird," I admitted. "Like closing a door I used to stare at." "Then lock it," he said. "And throw away the key." I smiled. "Already did." When the call ended, I looked around my apartment, the same walls, same furniture, but everything felt new. Lighter. I lay back, staring at the ceiling again, but this time there was no ache. Just calm. And somewhere in that stillness, I realized, I wasn't waiting for closure anymore. I'd already created it. I was wiping sweat from my face when I saw her, Maya, standing just outside the glass doors of the gym. For a second, I thought my mind was playing tricks on me. But she didn't fade. She was really there, same eyes, same familiar stance, but something in her was dimmed. I walked out slowly, heartbeat steady, not racing like it used to. "Hey," she said, voice soft, shaky. "Hey," I replied. "You lost or something?" She gave a weak laugh. "No. I've been meaning to talk to you." I crossed my arms. "About what?" "About us," she whispered. "About everything." I looked away. "There's no us anymore." I know, she said quickly. I didn't know where else to go. That's not my problem, Maya. Her lips trembled. You don't have to be cruel. I'm not, I said. Just honest. She took a breath, eyes darting toward the parking lot. I messed up, Ethan. I really messed up. I said nothing. The silence stretched until she filled it. I thought I wanted excitement, she said. Something different. But it wasn't real. He wasn't you. Jake? I asked flatly. She flinched. Yeah. Him. How's that going? It ended. A while ago. I nodded slowly. Didn't take long. She frowned. You don't have to sound so what? Calm? Because I am. Took me a long time to get here. She stared at me, like she couldn't recognize the person standing in front of her. You look different, she murmured. Stronger. Yeah, I said. Pain does that. I saw your pictures online, she continued. You seem happy. I am. Her eyes softened. I'm glad. I raised an eyebrow. Are you? She hesitated. I thought I would be, too. But I'm not. I almost laughed. So what, you came here to tell me you're miserable? No, I came because I realized what I lost. I sighed. You didn't lose me, Maya. You threw me away. She looked down. I didn't mean to hurt you. Yeah, I said quietly. You just didn't mean to care enough not to. For a moment, neither of us spoke. The sound of gym doors opening and closing filled the gap. A car horn blared in the distance. She finally whispered, I missed the peace we had. That peace came from me, I said. And you didn't want it. Tears welled up in her eyes. Can't we start over? Just, try again. I stared at her, really stared. The old me would have broken right there. I would have believed her tears, reached out, tried to fix her pain. But not now. Start over? I repeated. You mean, pretend you didn't lie? Pretend you didn't choose someone else? I made a mistake, she said quickly. People change. They do, I agreed. I did. She looked up hopefully. Then maybe we can. No, I cut her off. That's not what I meant. Her face fell. Ethan, please. I'm not asking for everything back. I miss talking to you. Then talk, I said. Say whatever you need to say. She stepped closer. I still think about us. The late night walks, your stupid jokes, the way you used to listen when I rambled. No one ever did that. I smiled faintly. You should have noticed that before you left. I know, she said, voice breaking. I thought I'd find better. But it was all noise. You were the calm. Her words hung there, fragile and heavy. I could almost see the sincerity in her face, the regret burning behind her eyes. But I'd carried those ashes long enough. Maya, I said softly. Do you know what hurt the most? She shook her head. That you didn't even fight for me. Not once. You were gone before I knew you were leaving. She covered her face, crying quietly. I'm sorry, she whispered. I swear, I didn't understand what I was doing. I looked past her, toward the sunset over the parking lot. You don't need to explain anymore. I stopped trying to understand. She dropped her hands. So that's it? You're just done? I was done the day you laughed and said I wasn't your type, I said. That laugh never left my head. Her eyes widened. I didn't mean it like that. Doesn't matter how you meant it. It killed something in me. She took another step closer. I still care about you. Maybe, I said. But caring isn't love. It's guilt. That's not true, she snapped. Then prove it, I challenged. Her mouth opened, but no words came out. After a long silence, she said quietly, You've really changed. Yeah, I said. I had to. Do you hate me? I shook my head. No. I just stopped needing you. The wind picked up. A gym member passed us, holding the door open. I didn't move. Neither did she. Can we at least be friends? She asked finally. I smiled, small, calm, final. Friends don't break each other like that. Her voice cracked. So you're not even going to say goodbye? I said goodbye months ago, I replied. You just weren't there to hear it. She stood there, frozen, tears glistening in the fading light. I turned back toward the gym. Ethan, she called. I paused but didn't turn. You look good, she said softly. I'm happy for you. I walked inside without a word. For once, silence said everything I needed to say. Ryan dropped the news like it was nothing. You heard about Maya? I looked up from my coffee. No. What now? He leaned back, smirking. Jake cheated on her. I blinked once. With who? Some girl from his gym. Same story, different cast. I didn't react right away. Just stirred my coffee, watched the ripples fade. Ryan studied me. You're quiet. Thought you'd at least crack a smile. I shrugged. What's there to smile about? Come on, man. That's Karma in high heels walking right over her. I laughed lightly. Yeah, maybe. But Karma's not my business anymore. Ryan tilted his head. You're telling me you don't feel even a little satisfaction? Not really, I said. It's weird. I thought I'd feel something. Payback. Closure. But it's just quiet. He nodded slowly. Quiet's good. Means you're over it. Maybe, I said. Or maybe I just ran out of anger. He chuckled. Well, rumor is, she's not doing great. Lost a few friends, took some time off work. Apparently, Jake's been bad-mouthing her around town. Figures, I said. You betray someone with a liar, don't be surprised when you get lied to. Ryan smiled. Damn, that's poetic. I grinned faintly. It's the truth. He leaned forward. So if she came crawling again, what would you do? Nothing, I said instantly. I've got nothing left to give her. He raised a brow. Even if she apologized again? She already did once, I said. Didn't change anything. Some words are just bandages for self-inflicted wounds. Ryan nodded, tapping his fingers on the table. You really are a different man now. I had to be, I said. If I didn't change, I'd still be waiting for her to. He chuckled softly. You know, when she laughed that night after you confessed, I wanted to punch a wall. I smiled. I did that for you. He laughed. Yeah, I remember. Broke your knuckles, didn't you? Almost, I said, flexing my hand. Guess pain teaches in strange ways. We sat in silence for a moment. The cafe around us buzzed with soft music and low chatter. Ryan finally said, You ever think she got what she deserved? I thought about it. No. I think she got what she chose. That's deep. It's just reality, I said. You can't build happiness on someone else's heartbreak. It always collapses. He nodded. Still, feels kind of nice knowing the universe handled it. Yeah, I said. But not because she's hurting. Just because I don't have to anymore. Ryan smiled. That's peace, my friend. You earned it. I looked out the window. Peace doesn't feel like victory. It feels like silence. He tilted his cup toward me. To silence, then. I clinked mine against his. To silence. For a moment, I thought about her, how she used to laugh at things that weren't funny, how she said I was too calm for her world. Maybe that's why she left, chaos felt louder than love. But chaos always burns itself out. Ryan broke my thoughts. You're really done with all that, huh? Completely, I said. I don't even replay it anymore. That's rare, he said. Most guys would still stalk her page. I smiled. I don't need to. The past can't offer anything new. He nodded. You think she's learned something from all this? Maybe, I said. But lessons mean nothing if they come too late. Ryan leaned back, impressed. Man, you sound like some kind of monk. I laughed. Nah. Just someone who finally stopped bleeding over a cut that healed. He raised his cup again. To healing. I lifted mine. To letting karma do its work. We drank in silence. And for the first time, the quiet didn't feel empty. It felt earned. I opened my notes app and stared at the blinking cursor. For a long time, I didn't type a thing. Then, slowly, the words started to spill. Hey, Maya, I wrote. I'm not sending this, but I need to say it somewhere. Thank you for leaving. I paused. My fingers hovered over the screen. It felt strange, thanking the person who shattered me. But it wasn't sarcasm. It was truth. You taught me more by breaking me than you ever did by loving me, I continued. You showed me that peace isn't boring, and that love without respect is just noise. I leaned back in my chair. My reflection stared back from the dark laptop screen, calmer, older somehow. I used to think I wasn't enough for you, I typed. Now I see I was just too steady for someone who mistook chaos for passion. I smiled faintly. It wasn't bitter, just quiet understanding. You helped me find myself, I wrote. Not in the way I wanted, but in the way I needed. Pain has a strange way of sharpening clarity. I stopped there. For a moment, I imagined her reading it, the way her eyes would narrow, the small sigh, maybe even a tear. Then I shook the thought away. She didn't need to read it. I did. I whispered to myself, you don't owe her your closure. My voice sounded different, steadier, like I finally believed it. I looked at her contact, Maya Dizzy. I hadn't changed it since the breakup. I laughed softly. Time to let go, I said. My thumb hovered over delete. I took a deep breath and pressed it. The number disappeared. No hesitation, no sting. Just silence. I leaned back again, exhaling slowly. The apartment was quiet, no echoes of her laugh, no ghosts of old conversations. Just me, and it was enough. I forgive you, I whispered. Not because you deserve it, but because I deserve peace. For a moment, I sat there, letting that truth settle. It felt light, like dropping a heavy bag I didn't realize I'd been carrying. I stood, stretched, and walked to the window. The city below was alive, cars humming, people moving, life going on. Mine was too. Ryan's words came back to me, you're not broken, man. She just picked chaos over peace. He was right. I wasn't broken. I was rebuilt. I opened the unsent note one last time and added a final line, thanks for teaching me what love isn't. Then I deleted it too. No drama. No goodbye. Just closure. I whispered, I'm free. And for the first time, it wasn't a wish, it was real. The same restaurant. Same corner table. Different man. I sat with a cup of black coffee, staring at the flickering candle between salt shakers. The last time I was here, she'd said, you don't fit in with my friends. I didn't realize then she meant, you don't fit in my future. The waiter approached, smiling politely. Expecting someone, sir? I looked up, met his eyes, and smiled back. No, I said quietly. Not anymore. He nodded and left me with the kind of silence that used to sting. Now, it felt calm, like breathing after a long storm. I whispered to myself, same table, same air, different heart. A couple laughed at the next table, the girl teasing the boy for stealing her fries. I caught myself smiling, not from sadness, just recognition. That used to be me once. And it was fine that it wasn't anymore. My phone buzzed. A text from Ryan, you at the gym? I typed back, no, just grabbing coffee. Alone this time. He replied, proud of you, man. You finally sound okay. I stared at that message longer than I should have. Then I whispered, yeah, I think I am. I took a sip of coffee and thought about the months between then and now, the sleepless nights, the silence, the rebuilding. I'd spent so long trying to understand why she left that I forgot to notice how much I'd grown because she did. The door chimed behind me. For a second, I glanced up, stupid reflex, half expecting her. But it was just a stranger. I laughed quietly. Old habits, I muttered. The waiter returned. Would you like anything else? I shook my head. Just the check, please. He smiled. You sure? Dessert, maybe? Nah, I said. I've had enough of sweet things that don't last. He chuckled softly. Fair enough. As he walked away, I leaned back, staring at the same empty seat across from me. It didn't feel empty this time, just unneeded. I remembered her voice, her laugh, the way she stirred her drink that night like she was mixing guilt into it. But it didn't hurt anymore. Not even a little. When the waiter came back, I placed a generous tip on the table. Keep the change, I said. He smiled. Thank you. Hope your night's peaceful. It already is, I replied. I stood, slid my jacket on, and looked around one last time. The walls were the same, the lights still dim, but the story here had ended long ago. As I stepped outside, the air was cool, crisp, not heavy like before. Streetlights glowed against wet pavement, and I felt something I hadn't in a long time, freedom that didn't need to be loud. I took a deep breath and smiled to myself. She left to find excitement, I whispered, but I found myself, and that's something no one can take away again. Then I walked into the night, not looking back once.